National Football League on EA Sports. And we're going to see Travis Etienne. He's coming off a great week, reaching triple digits in yards with a collection of touchdowns. It's the Jags and the Chargers, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 and the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. CD, everybody loves to see the deep ball. We know that. We got a couple of quarterbacks here who can really sling it. Trevor Lawrence of the Jags, Justin Herbert of the Chargers.
I like your point there, partner, because it is back in vogue. And what I mean is taking the shots downfield, because for a long time in this league, it was all about precision passing, the West Coast offense. But now we've got a couple of guys here who'll take some shots downfield, and they have some receivers who can go get it.
Have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jacksonville's offense trots out here for the first time, and all eyes go right to number 16. Now in his second season as the team's face of the franchise, Trevor Lawrence.
For everyone who expected the highly touted Trevor Lawrence to champion the Jaguars to instant success last season, well, they got a little bit of a reality check. Despite the struggles, though, he still took on a major leadership role within the locker room and among the team. He also flashed some of his considerable potential on the field, particularly in a defiant Week 18 win over Indianapolis that knocked the Colts out of the playoffs.
Now Etienne to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The numbers on the ground for Etienne last week. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Lawrence. He'll drop that underneath to Etienne. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Jaguars at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Lawrence going to get this to Etienne, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense put pressure at the top, and sometimes against that, you get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Well, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week, but it failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. The Charger offense makes its way out for the first time in this ball game, and leading the way, already a star in just his 3rd season, it's Justin Herbert.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
It's complete to Williams. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. We're able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the third down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the first down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the first down. Excellent tackling right there.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. First and 10. They'll start on the ground. ETN. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played back and forth with them.
And rode him right out of bounds. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. They're in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, Lawrence on the move to his left. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, but it's fourth down. On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Here comes Carter. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get...
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. 58. For him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Once more, here's Eckler. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Herbert now. hitter here. It's complete. Touchdown, Chargers. Eric Ebron, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers are on the board first here this afternoon. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. This defense for the Jags, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Nice little juke. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
It's Eckler again. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Now a first carry for their fullback. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. And now it's blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's why I was just going to say first quarter. We'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax.
Whoa. Bad move. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And now out come the Jags. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lawrence. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. again with Etienne. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. $13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, nice move. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaims center stage. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Oh, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
That's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, it's Herbert. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 36, Herbert. Allen's got it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
One of his best and most consistent wide receivers in his 10th season in the league. Keenan Allen is just automatic at this point. Nice catch from him there for a first down. 100 catches, 1,100 yards, at least 6 touchdowns this season. Wash, rinse, repeat. But let's not take him for granted. He's a terrific player.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 86 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. On 1st and 10, Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. Ebron with it over the middle. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans, they're probably saying, well, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now Lawrence to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And they'll get it down at about the 37, well short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. L.A. readies for its next possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Herbert. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. That'll give him 8 that time. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? No, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Herbert on 3rd down now. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Herbert. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 2nd and 5. Here's Herbert. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Charles, a look now at the Jaguars 2022 draft class. They were the 6th franchise to pick #1 overall in back-to-back drafts. And after getting the franchise face Trevor Lawrence a year ago, they're hoping that they found the face of their defense moving forward in Trayvon Walker.
I'm going to stick with defense and come back to Trayvon Walker because, remember, they added Devin Lloyd, the linebacker, late in the first round. And in the third round, another linebacker in Chad Muma. But let's face it, this draft will be remembered for them taking Trayvon Walker, and they're looking forward to him producing as a big-time pass rusher.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
Agnew now to return. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. 30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where you see the final score there. Dameon Pierce, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Deshaun Watson, sharp in the victory, as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory #1. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones has a touchdown on the ground. We continue on with the check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter.
From his end zone, here comes Carter.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this 3rd quarter. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert, he's got Allen. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. This is caught by Williams. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. And this offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Draw play. It's Eckler. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Looking deep downfield. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's J.K. Scott now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll run with Etienne. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And some room to maneuver. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 53 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jags get a bit closer. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Lawrence going to look to throw for it. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. So here are the Chargers to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. That's going to be caught by Kirk. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. Straight ahead, Etienne. this across midfield and inside the 45. 92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Another tote for Etienne. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field and be like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st. Etienne up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And that's a much-needed 1st down right there. Look, they're down by 8, so logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a give to Etienne. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dan Arnold, a touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Jaguars have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. The Chargers offense back out and ready to go. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Herbert
favorite in the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
He'll get that one to Carter, complete.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll leave it with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. With man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end. Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Throwing, Herbert.
He finds his man, complete. It's Carter. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Now Herbert got to get him to the line in a hurry.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete.
Herbert. Looking Austin Eckler's way again. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Up the middle with Eckler.
Trayvon Walker makes the tackle.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
It's Eckler again, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And the question now, can they get closer on 3rd down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder. Eckler now between the tackles. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
On the give, this is Eckler, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. So now it all comes down to Dustin Hopkins. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And his kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So this one's over. It's in the column for the LA Chargers.
If you step back and look at this, CD, pretty impressive victory. Not the best defense
defense in the NFL they were going against, but it is a top 10 defense in this league, and they're pretty sound, but yet they found a way to get it done and get the victory.
Yeah, I got to give them credit because I think their game plan was really, really strong for this one. They knew where they wanted to attack, they knew how they wanted to execute, and they did it with confidence and a little bit of verve as well.
So for the Chargers, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season.